Hello, in this video, I'm going to show you the best method on how to learn Unreal Engine this upcoming year. Learning Unreal Engine can feel overwhelming at first, as there are many different things you can learn and do in it. Although don't worry, I've made a list of 4 simple steps to help you master Unreal Engine and start creating exactly what you want. Step 1. Learn the fundamentals. Before diving into building anything in Unreal Engine, it's crucial to start with the basics. Think of it like starting a brand new video game and skipping the tutorial. You'd be lost, not knowing the controls or how anything works. Jumping straight into advanced tasks without a solid foundation is setting yourself up for failure. I actually created a completely free Unreal Engine beginner course that covers all of the key fundamentals. This course will teach you how to navigate the engine and work with its most common tools, giving you a solid foundation. You'll find a link to this completely ad-free course somewhere in the description of this video. Of course, you don't have to follow my tutorial, just make sure that you learn the fundamentals from somewhere. There are plenty of free resources on YouTube, as well as paid courses if you prefer. The important thing is that you take the time to fully understand the basics before moving forward. This should provide you with a solid foundation. The next step will depend on your skill level, but if you're a complete beginner and this is your first time in Unreal Engine, after learning the fundamentals, I'd recommend that you watch between 1 to 2 tutorials a day for the next 3 months. This consistent practice will help you learn even more and build your confidence and familiarize yourself with the variety of tools and techniques in Unreal Engine. Over time, you'll develop the skills needed to use it competently. Okay, now that you've gained some foundational knowledge, it's time to tell you the next step. Step 2. Create 3 video games. As the saying goes, practice makes perfect, and this step will allow you to use all of the knowledge that you gained in the first step. Although, for each of these games there's a twist. You'll work within a set time limit which will challenge you. Okay, so your first challenge is going to be to create a game in just 1 hour. This forces you to work quickly and focus on the absolute basics. The game can be as simple as a single level. It doesn't need to be complex. The aim is to challenge yourself to create a full game in 1 hour. You can prepare the game that you're going to make in 1 hour ahead of time to help you. Your second challenge is to create a game in 24 hours. With more time, you can aim for a better and more detailed game. Then for the third game, your final challenge is to basically make a game in 1 week. With this extended time frame, aim to produce a more polished project. For example, you could design a game with 5 levels or incorporate more advanced mechanics. This challenge allows you to refine your workflow and create something more complete. By completing step 2, creating 3 video games, you'll reinforce your understanding of Unreal Engine and gain some valuable practical hands-on experience. After finishing these 3 projects, you should feel a lot more confident in your skills and are ready to tackle something a bit larger. We are now ready for the next step. Step 3. Pick a goal and write it down. A common mistake many beginners make when starting with Unreal Engine is not having a clear goal or focus. Now that you've learned the basics, it's time to set a goal. Without a goal, it's easy to feel lost or stuck and not really move towards anything. So pick a goal. Write the game that you want to create in Unreal Engine. Maybe you've always wanted to create a top-down shooter game, or perhaps you're interested in creating a different genre of game. Whatever your goal is, write it down. This will give you something clear to work towards and keep you motivated. Once you've defined your goal, it's time to break it down into manageable tasks. This helps you avoid feeling overwhelmed and makes the project more achievable. Think of it like Michael Lutitito. Sorry if I'm saying that horribly incorrect. This man basically ate an entire airplane. Yep, you heard that right. He had like some condition which allowed him to eat metal, and he basically decided to eat a whole plane. Although he didn't do this all at once. Instead, what he did is he split the plane into many different small parts, and then basically with each meal that he was having, he'd have a bit of the plane. So he broke it down into small digestible pieces which he ate over time. Eventually it took him like 2 years, but he ate a whole plane. The point is, you need to do the same thing with your game. For example, maybe your goal is to create a top-down shooter game in Unreal Engine. Somewhere on the screen, I'm now going to basically write a to-do list of creating a top-down shooter game from scratch with all of the things that you may want to have in your to-do list. This is just an example, just so that you can picture how you may want to basically break down your goal. Then, by following your to-do list and completing each task one at a time, you'll gradually build your game from start to finish. Breaking your goal into these smaller, manageable tasks makes the project more achievable and helps you stay on track, and you can track your progress towards your goal. We are now ready for step 4. Set time to work towards your goal every day. Creating a game is a process, and like any big project, consistency is key. It's easy to get distracted or put off work, but setting aside dedicated time each day to work towards your goal will make a significant difference in your progress. Don't worry if you only have a small amount of time each day. Whether it's 30 minutes or just a couple of hours, what's important is you're making steady and consistent progress. Here's how you can make this work for you. Set a daily schedule. Decide on a set time each day you'll commit to working on your game, whether it's in the morning, during lunch, or in the evening. This consistency will help you stay on track. And then of course, avoid burnout. Whilst consistency is key, make sure that you listen to yourself. If you ever need to take a break, just take one. Game development is a marathon and not a sprint. It's important to stay fresh, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, I recommend that you just take a break. Now that you have all of this information, you're ready to dive into learning Unreal Engine. Although, there's some common pitfalls that you may encounter on your journey. Let's go over how you can overcome them in case you run into them. Okay, so the first obstacle is building a new mechanic that you've never built before. Let's say you have the basic knowledge, although you're now trying to develop your game, and let's say in your game you needed to build an inventory system, although you've never built an inventory system before, so you didn't know what to do. Let's go over how you'd learn how to build an inventory system. First of all, you have two main options for this. One, you can search for a solution online. Platforms like YouTube and online courses and forums are great resources for finding tutorials on a specific feature. If you can't find an exact match for your needs, you can still gain insights from similar solutions and kind of adapt them to your project. The second option you have is to use the Unreal Engine Marketplace, or FAB. It's now called FAB. FAB is basically a marketplace where people sell various game assets, and someone may have already created an inventory system that you want. You can buy it and then integrate it into your project, saving you the time of learning how to build it from scratch. It's totally up to you. So you can either basically learn how to do it, or maybe you can save some time and basically you can buy an asset which basically implements it into your project for you. Okay, the second issue you may encounter is getting stuck whilst following a tutorial. Let's say you're following a tutorial, although at the end of the tutorial you finished it, although it's not working in your project. There are a couple things you can do. Double check. Make sure that you followed every step of the tutorial carefully. Sometimes you may have missed a small detail. You can easily speed up or slow down YouTube videos to make them easier to follow. Check the comments. Sometimes a tutorial may be incomplete, and often others have faced the same issue and posted the solution in the comment section. It's worth checking there for answers. And then try to use two monitors if possible. This is a game changer when following tutorials. You can have the tutorial open on one screen and your Unreal Engine project on the other, making it easier to follow along. If you don't have two monitors, even a second laptop can work. This setup makes learning much more efficient and speeds up your workflow. Then we have getting stuck in general. If say you're stuck on a specific problem and you can't find the solution, you can try asking the Unreal Engine community. So I've not really used it, but there's the Unreal Engine forums, and I have seen people basically type the problem that they have, and then others sometimes come to the solution with an answer. I hope these steps will help you learn Unreal Engine and develop the game that you want to. I'm planning to release high quality Unreal Engine tutorials and courses to help you achieve your goals in Unreal Engine. If you want to learn more about creating games in Unreal Engine, make sure to check out my website. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.